Live and direct from Wayne Pollard Memorial Field here in Albion, Illinois. It's exciting Edwards County Lady Lions softball action. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Dave Rigg alongside Troy Rigg, and we're getting ready to bring you this softball game between the Edwards County Lions and the Mount Carmel Lady Aces. As always, our webcast comes your way through the courtesy of the individuals, businesses, and organizations that have graciously agreed to pay me $2 to help me cover my expenses in bringing you Edwards County Lions softball action. This is our first softball webcast of the season, Troy, and the reason is pretty simple. The weather throughout most of the softball season has been not conducive for me to be sitting outside in the cold and the wind to do a game, and we were able to do baseball games because they still have a broadcast booth over there where we could sit up in there and shut the door and turn the heater on and stay reasonably comfortable. But today's a beautiful day.
Beautiful day for a game, Dave, and it's going to be a lot of fun doing this game today.
The Lions have been crowned as the Eastern Division champions of the Black Diamond Conference with their win yesterday over Fairfield. And so that's one thing they cannot lose now. That and I think, talking to head coach Lonnie Murbarger, this is the first time in several years, if not the first time ever, for the girls softball team to win a conference championship. When they were in the Little Illini Conference, they were always up against the likes of Casey, and we know how good a softball team Casey usually has in girls softball. So with the Black Diamond, the Lady Lions pulled off a, let's see, what was it, a 8-2 conference record to win the, don't go by that, go by that sheet right there.
Yes.
Yeah, 8-2 in the conference, and 14-5 overall. And so we're down near the end of the season now. The Lady Lions will begin regional tournament play. I believe it's next Tuesday. You've got the tournament schedule there somewhere, Troy. They have to go way down to Galatia to play in the regional this year. And I think they face Galatia that is, in their first match on a Tuesday, next Tuesday, the 15th of May, down at Galatia. That'll be a 6:30 game. And not sure yet whether we're going to be able to go all the way down to Galatia to bring you the webcast or not. But we are here this afternoon, and as I said just a few seconds ago, it's a beautiful day. Sun's shining. There's a nice little breeze blowing out of the west. And Troy and I are located out here beyond the left center field fence underneath our canopy tent. And pretty comfortable right here.
Yeah, nice spot.
Troy, why don't you check some webcast boosters, and then we'll check the starting lineups for these two teams.
Those webcast boosters include Citizens National Bank in Albion, Nails Funeral Homes in Albion and Fairfield, Gospel Chapel in Bone Gap. Services are every Sunday at 10. Brian Mavis, he's your Edward Jones investment agent in Albion. Edwards County Superintendent of Schools, David Cowger and his family, David, Tiffany, Dallin, Camden, and Addison. Rick, Kelly, Allison, and Drew Wolfe. Doug Raber, he is your State Farm Insurance agent in Albion. The Murbarger family, Lonnie, Valerie, Sadie, and Hallie. Kevin, Heidi, and TJ Smurden. Head baseball coach Chris Duncan and his family, Miranda, Jax, and Jeter. Dr. Chris Ballard and his wife, Jerry. John and Denise Duncan. Ed and Mary Bailey. George and Shirley Tribe. Eddie and Lila Fuchs. Debbie Judge, your Edwards County Sheriff's Deputy. And the Albion Computer Guy at 275 South 4th Street in Albion. Whenever your computer needs fixing, go to the Albion Computer Guy. Their hours are 8 to 5, Monday through Friday.
All right, Kyle Buss, the head softball coach at Mount Carmel High School, is now hitting infield and outfield to his starters. And this is the way they will line up. Leading off and pitching for Mount Carmel will be Faith Fuller. Batting second, their catcher, Addie Drone. Batting third will be their shortstop, Ella Banks. Hitting cleanup will be their third baseman, Lexi Simmons. Batting fifth, the first baseman, Allison Armstrong. Batting sixth, their center fielder, Madeline Goldman. Batting seventh will be their designated player, Allie Hedge. Batting eighth will be their right fielder, Taylor Roosevelt. And that's not the Taylor Roosevelt of
No.
Edwards County, but there is another Taylor Roosevelt apparently over in Mount Carmel. Batting ninth and playing left field will be Paige Hocking, and their flex player is their second baseman, Libby Schneider. Coach Buss will have on his bench Sierra Hanna, Lexi Ballard, and Cassidy Drone. We'll check the Edwards County starters after Troy checks more of our webcast boosters.
That includes the watering can at 107 West Main Street. Stop in and see the flowers and gift items that Nathan has available. Call 445-3924. The Beerster family, JR, Tara, Haley, JC, Walter, Mark, and Rachel at JTK Services. When you need tires, check with JR. Dwayne and Leanne Lear of Lear Electric in Albion. For electrical service that you can depend on, call Dwayne Lear at 446-3166. United Mutual Insurance Company at 14 North 4th Street in Albion. When you need insurance, call Rick Etheridge. Keith, Kayla, Taylor, there's our Taylor, and Drew Roosevelt, the proud family of softball player Avery Roosevelt. RCS Motorsports and Reese's Car and Truck Service, located at 401 West Church Street in West Salem, a locally owned automotive shop. They do service and accessories. Call 618-456-2556.
Starters for the Edwards County Lady Lions. Leading off playing second base will be Caelyn Nelson. Batting second, the right fielder, Darcy Clodfelter. Hitting third will be the third baseman, Allison Wolfe. Our cleanup hitter is our shortstop, Maddie Hout. Batting fifth will be the center fielder, Tara Thompson, who, by the way, has signed a letter of intent to play softball next year at Olney Central College, so congratulations to her. Batting sixth will be our designated player, Avery Roosevelt. Batting seventh, the catcher, Ragan Bell. Batting eighth, playing first base, Audrey Rotramel. And batting ninth and playing left field will be Hallie Murbarger. Our pitcher today, as the flex player, will be Sydney Weber. The Lady Lions come in 14-5 overall, and 8-2 in the Black Diamond Conference, which, as I said just a few minutes ago, gave them the Eastern Division Championship for the season in the Black Diamond Conference. So congratulations to coaches Murbarger and Franklin and the Edwards County Lady Lions. So those are the starters, and as for those of you just joining us, it is a beautiful day. And as you might expect, the good weather has brought out several people to watch today's action here at Wayne Pollard Memorial Field. A lot of people sitting in their lawn chairs along the third base line and the first base line. And I'll tell you what, Troy, you really risk a windshield when you park your vehicle up against the fence down that first base line, because we see a lot of foul balls go that way.
Well, there's only so much parking around here by the field, so to a certain extent you got to take your risks.
Yeah, well, they could park over there where everybody does for the baseball.
That's
and
true.
Walk across,
and walk across. You have
a lot of people decide they want to park out here like this, and so they take their risks, I guess. Well, if they get a smashed windshield, insurance will probably cover it anyway. So anyway, Lady Lions now are out on the field getting ready to take their infield and outfield practice, as Coach Franklin is out here hitting fly balls to the three Edwards County outfielders, Murbarger and Clodfelter and Thompson, while on the infield, I don't know who that gentleman is. Do you recognize him?
I do not.
Is that Murphy?
I have no idea.
Anyway, he's hitting infield practice to the Edwards County infielders and pitcher and catcher. And so what that means, we're just a few minutes away from the first pitch of this ball game. Have you seen the umpires yet, Troy?
I have. I would know Bob Edwards when I see him. I have not seen him on the premises
Bob
yet.
Edwards is supposed to be one of the umpires, and Jason
Barnhart.
Both of them from Fairfield, will be the umpires. Now, who's going to have the plate and who's going to be on the bases is yet to be determined here when they come out. But I think you're right, Troy. I'm kind of scanning the crowd there, and I don't see anybody in blue right now, but maybe they're sitting in a car listening to the radio waiting for the first time to come out here.
Well, you never know.
Yeah, we got a few people just off to our right here beyond the left field fence. They're going to watch the game from out here. I'm glad Greg Nelson's not sitting down there, because that guy'd go over there and unplug us, Troy. His wife's sitting down there. Of course, course, that's Greg and Nancy are the grandparents of Caelyn Nelson, and I think her mother's there with her, Cassie, and
Cade Rivers is over there.
Cade Rivers is sitting down there too. So I guess they're not sitting under an awning tent like we are. They're just going to catch them some sun here today. Troy, why don't you run down the schedule and let the folks know, since this is our first webcast of softball, how the Lions played this season.
They started out, Dave, over at the whatever the Mules call that tournament at the beginning of the year. We'll just call it the Fairfield Invite, because that's what you got wrote down here. They lost to Harrisburg. They lost to Oblong. They beat Fairfield and lost to Salem. So they didn't really get off to a good start there. But then they destroyed Clay City 11-2. Did the same thing to Carmel 10-2. Beat them again 15-4. Took Hamilton County 3-1. Took Sisseton 10-0. A 7-3 win over Hamilton County. A 13-1 win over El Dorado. And then a loss to El Dorado, a little surprising, 2-1. Maybe they were just too tired from running the bases the other day. And then they lost to Johnston City, 6-1. Came back and beat them 3-2. Put away Red Hill, 14-4. And Fairfield, 12-4. They've already got a win over Mount Carmel at Mount Carmel, 8-3. Beat Newton, 6-0. And then their 7-5 win over Fairfield on May the 9th, Dave.
That was yesterday.
Correct. That made them conference champs with an 8-2 record. And that brings us up to this home game today, a rematch with the Mount Carmel Lady Aces.
Of course, this is a non-conference. There aren't any more games on the regular schedule, is there?
There are no more conference games. They have a game, according to this, Friday
at Lawrenceville.
Yeah, and
then we're not sure
up
about
on the air about whether or not that's Saturday. I would assume that Saturday thing's been canceled, but
yeah, that was on the this coming Saturday. Both the baseball and softball girls, baseball boys and softball girls, were scheduled to play a doubleheader against Hillsboro and Robinson. And Chris Duncan informed me that for sure the baseball games those 2 days have been canceled. And so I'm assuming that the softball games with those two teams have also been canceled, but that may not be the case. I haven't heard one way or the other on that yet. But anyhow, this will be the last home game of the season for the Lady Lions, because after their game tomorrow at Lawrenceville, they'll play next Tuesday down at Galatia, against Galatia, at 6:30 in the regional tournament down there. So Lady Lions want to win here today and win again tomorrow at Lawrenceville, and get ready to play in the tournament next week at Galatia. This is we've ended up with the Lady Lions making some long trips in tournament play. Remember?
Always.
Yeah, remember one year, didn't we have to go clear over near St. Louis to play a game in the sectional or something like that?
Yeah, we went. Well, the thing that was stupid about it, Dave, is that we had to go all the way over there to, at that time, Dave, when Claire Miller was still pitching, had to go all the way over to that side of the state of Illinois for a game between Edwards County and Wayne City.
Yeah, that made a lot of sense, didn't it?
Oakville.
Yeah, we went to Oakville. Yeah, that's where it was. Yeah, I remember that. And I thought, gee whiz, couldn't they have put that closer to home, but for either team, But
even the guy who was in charge of the tournament for Oakville thought it was stupid.
Yeah, but,
yeah,
some things are just beyond explanation when it comes to things like that. Well, anyway, the Lady Lions are lined up along the third base line there. That's their tradition. As they finish up their infield and outfield practice, they all come running in and make a line there. And I don't know whether Lonnie's got plans to play the national anthem here today or not. He's got a speaker system over there. I think they have done that in the past.
Oh, yeah, they have.
Yeah, so we may have and I think the flagpole is right over here off to our right. Yeah. So, but we won't be able to see the flag because we're underneath the...
Well, I would say if they were going to, Dave, if I remembered softball games, And again, I'm just guessing because it's been a while since we did one. The girls were usually still in the dugout when they went ahead and played it. And so I think we're just going to go ahead and play.
Today.
Yeah.
So, well, I'm going to get up here and get behind the camera here, Troy, if I can get enough extension on my microphone.
We tested that before you did it. We didn't want you to yank it off your head.
Yeah. So, anyhow, the Lady Lions are now out on the field. And the defense for the Lions, we have Audrey Rotramel over there at first base. Playing second base is Caelyn Nelson, the shortstop. I need to loosen this camera up just a little bit. It's a little bit tight in moving. Whoop, that's too tight, too loose. Let's see here, Troy.
You could always ask Tara if there's a game on Saturday.
Yeah, well, we'll do that later. Anyway, where did I get to? Shortstop is Maddie Hout, and the third baseman is Allison Wolfe. Over here in left field, that is Hallie Murbarger. Over here in center field, that's Tara Thompson. And that's Darcy Clodfelter. If I can catch her here, just let me crank the camera up just a little bit more. There we go. And that is Darcy Clodfelter. Our catcher today is Ragan Bell, and the pitcher is Sydney Weber. And there are the umpires. That is, no, that's not Bob Edwards. Oh man, I know his name. I'll think of it. He is from Fairfield. It looks like Barnhart will be the plate umpire. Why can't I think of that guy's name, Troy? You're supposed to keep that stuff for me. Let me lock that in there so that won't keep moving up and down on me. We're glad to have you logged in on your computer or your smartphone to watch today's webcast from Wayne Pollard Memorial Field as the Lions of Edwards County tangle with the Aces from Mount Carmel in girls softball action. Well, I'll tell you what, Troy, the older I get, the more forgetful I get. But you know what? His name will come to me about 10 o'clock tonight.
Oh, yeah.
Sitting in the chair
I've
watching
been there, done that myself.
Cardinal baseball. Okay.
Think you can stay awake for a West Coast game?
For a little while. Or I might change the channel if they start getting way.
Well, yeah.
All right, here we go. Faith Fuller, the Mount Carmel pitcher, will lead off for the Lady Aces. As Sydney Weber, wearing that number 19 there, looks in for her first sign from her catcher, Ragan Bell. And here's the first pitch of the ball game, and it's low and inside for ball one. So it'll be Fuller, Drone, and Banks, the first three in the order for the Lady Aces. Here's the next pitch by Weber, and that also is low and inside for ball two. Lady Lions, champions of the Eastern Division of the Black Diamond Conference. Weber has a sign in the next pitch. Right down the middle for a call, strike one. So, Troy, you're going to have to keep good score over here because I can't see the scoreboard. It's off to our right here and a little bit behind us, so we can't see the scoreboard. Pitch. Strike two, right at the letters. 2-2 count now. On Faith Fuller. Sydney Weber pitching today for Edwards County. 2-2 pitch. Fouled back over the backstop. Count remains 2 balls, 2 strikes. Beautiful weather today at Wayne Pollard Memorial Softball Field in Albion. Fuller back into the batter's box. Weber's into the wind, and here's the pitch. A little bit outside and high. That was close.
It was real close.
So it's a full count. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Edwards County defense pulled a little bit towards left field here. Tara Thompson, the center fielder, pulled a little bit to the left. Ground ball hit to the shortstop. Maddie's got it. Over to first base in time. Maddie Hout to Audrey Rotramel for the putout for Edwards County. So one gone. And that'll bring up Addie Drone, the catcher for the Lady Aces. Lady Aces coming in with a record of 7 wins against 14 losses, but don't let that record fool you. They likely play a schedule of a lot of Indiana teams. The pitch is a strike on the inside corner at the knees. Here comes the next delivery. Did she go? Apparently, no, she held up. Appeal of play, and the base umpire says, nope, she didn't go. 1 ball, 1 strike. Next delivery. Low and inside, ball 2. Two 1 count on the batter. Addie Drone. Here's the pitch. Strike at the letters again. Evens the count. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Here's the next delivery. Swing and a miss for a strikeout. And unlike Major League Baseball, the girls can come to the pitching circle without it being considered a trip to the mound. Of course, there is no mound in girls softball. It's just a flat surface with a circle around it. All right, this is Ella Banks, the shortstop, left-hand batter. Strike on the outside corner. So the first 2 batters for the Lady Aces are gone. 2 outs here in the top of the first. Next pitch. A little bit outside. Evens the count, a ball and a strike. Left fielder Hallie Murbarger playing pretty close to the line in spite of the fact that we got a left-hand batter in here. Next delivery. Outside. Ball 2. 2-1 count. 2 outs here in the top of the first. Here's the next delivery. That's up high, ball 3. Sydney Weber pitching today for the Lady Lions. Here's the pitch. A little bit low, that's ball 4. So there's the first walk of the day. First base runner for the Lady Aces. Of course, you know, in girls softball, you can't take a lead. You can leave after the ball passes the batter. Here's their cleanup hitter, third baseman Lexi Simmons. The pitch. Foul back to the backstop, strike 1. Put something over the top of that, Troy. That kind of shield that from the sun. I don't want that jetpack getting hot. Pitch. High and outside for a ball. Yeah, there you go. That'll help. 2 gone here in the top of the first. Runner at first for the Aces. Weber's next delivery inside. 3-1 count on the batter. Next delivery, foul back to the backstop. Gives us a full count now. Lady Lions wearing their black uniforms with red numerals and trim. Mount Carmel in their traditional maroon jerseys with white numerals, black pants. Pitch. Swing and a miss for a strikeout to retire the side. So, Troy, what do we got for totals on that inning?
Dave, we had no runs, no hits, 1 left, and no errors.
So after 1/2 an inning, it's Mount Carmel nothing, Edwards County coming to bat.
And your webcast boosters include Eddie and Joyce Miller, Kent and Lori Reed, attorney Brian Schenkel and his wife Sonia, Jim and Jody Peach, the parents of baseball and basketball player Tyler Peach, Larry Schmittler Service, that's Oil Field Engine Repairing, Grayville, Schmittler and Linda Schmittler are the grandparents of basketball and volleyball player Malia Schmittler, football, basketball, and baseball player Martin Schmittler, and basketball player Ty Schmittler. Good luck to the Lions from Tanea St. Ledger, a physical therapist at the Rehabilitation and Performance Institute in Albion. And Eric St. Ledger, he is your Edwards County State's attorney.
All right, we go to the bottom of the first inning. Edwards County will send up their leadoff hitter, Caelyn Nelson, then Darcy Clodfelter, then Allison Wolfe. If anybody gets on, which we hope happens, it'll be Maddie Hout, our cleanup hitter, followed then by Tara Thompson, Avery Roosevelt, Ragan Bell, Audrey Rotramel, and Hallie Murbarger. Sydney Weber is our flex player. She is the pitcher for today. That's the lineup for Edwards County. And I'll get back up to the camera, Troy, and we'll check out the Mount Carmel defense here. And on the infield, they have at first base, that's Allison Armstrong. We'll get around there to see Allison. And their second baseman is their flex player, Libby Schneider. Their shortstop is Ella Banks. Their third baseman is Lexi Simmons. Out in the outfield here, as we swing the camera around, that's their left fielder, Paige Hocking. Their center fielder is this gal right here, and that is Madeline Goldman. And their right fielder over there, we'll find her, there she is. That is Taylor Roosevelt. Not the Taylor Roosevelt from Edwards County, of course. Their catcher is Addie Drone, and the pitcher is Faith Fuller. There goes the throw down to second base, and we're just about ready for Edwards County's first at-bat. Lions trying for their 15th win of the season to go against only 4 losses. They're 14-4. And leading off, here's Caelyn Nelson, the second baseman. Caelyn, all-around athlete for Edwards County, plays on the volleyball team, also plays on the basketball team, and she's the leadoff hitter for the Lady Lions softball team. Pitch. Hits it on the ground to the shortstop, over to first base in time for the putout. So Nelson grounds out to Ella Banks, and the first baseman, Allison Armstrong, makes the catch to retire Caelyn Nelson. So 1 up, 1 down. And here's Darcy Clodfelter, who also plays volleyball and basketball for Edwards County. I imagine we'll see a lot of these girls on the volleyball team this coming school year, Troy. Pitch is low and inside for ball 1.
You know, Dave, we talked a lot about Martin Schmittler over on the baseball team, and there are several girls who could be up for female athlete of the year.
Oh, that's already been announced.
Oh, has it?
Maddie Hout.
Oh, it was.
Maddie Hout was the female athlete, and Martin Schmittler, as I predicted, did get the male athlete of the year for Edwards County. So congratulations to Maddie and Martin.
Absolutely.
Or Marty. Swing and a miss there by Clodfelter. Next delivery on the way. Swing and a miss. It might have been a foul tip. One ball, 2 strike count on Darcy Clodfelter. Tiger Clodfelter's little sister. Tiger had an accident, we understand, the other day. We'll tell you more about that later. Here's the pitch. It's low in the dirt. Evens the count, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Darcy was telling us, Troy, Tiger got a fish hook in his nose. He got his line caught on something, and he was jerking on it to pull it loose, and it snapped right back and stuck into his nose. I bet that felt good.
I doubt it did.
Pitch on the way. That's low and inside. Full count on Darcy Clodfelter. We're in the bottom of the first, still no score. Mount Carmel had a base runner, but on a base on balls, but that's as far as she got, first base. Pitch. Tapped down the first base line, and the throw in the dirt is in time for the putout. Good play there by the Mount Carmel pitcher to make that play. So that's 2 up, 2 down, and here's Allison Wolfe. Allison has decided to concentrate on softball in her high school days. She has played some volleyball in the past. Did not play this past season. Allison, right-hand batter. Swings and misses, strike one. Allison, the third baseman for Edwards County. Edwards County does have one player that's on the injured reserve, Troy. Pitch, low for a ball. Callie Justice, in a recent game, got a pitch right on the elbow, and Coach Murbarger showed me a picture of it on his phone. All swollen up and bruised, so she's not playing today. Callie Justice. Pitch on the way. Foul back to the screen. 1-2 count on Allison Wolfe with 2 down here in the bottom of the first. Nice breeze blowing here now, coming in from home plate towards us here underneath our canopy tent. Pitch inside. Allison had to skip the rope, so to speak, to get out from the way of that pitch. Edwards County and Mount Carmel and girls softball action here today on my15news.com. Glad to have you logged in watching the action. Thank you for your subscription to the NFHS network. Pitch, and that's tapped right back to the pitching circle and over to first base in time for the putout. Troy?
3 up, 3 down, no runs, no hits, no errors.
So we've played 1 full inning here at Wayne Pollard Memorial Field in Albion, and after 1 inning, our score is Mount Carmel nothing, Edwards County nothing.
Your webcast boosters include Citizens National Bank and Albion, Dale's Funeral Homes in Albion and Fairfield. Gospel Chapel in Bone Gap services are every Sunday at 10. Brian Mavis is your Edward Jones investment agent in Albion. Edwards County Superintendent of Schools David Cowger and his family, David, Tiffany, Dallin, Camden, and Addison. Rick, Kelly, Allison, and Drew Wolfe. Doug Raber, he is your State Farm Insurance agent in Albion. The Murbarger family is Lonnie, Valerie, Sadie, and Hallie. Kevin, Heidi, and TJ Smurden. Head baseball coach Chris Duncan and his family, Miranda Jackson Jeter. Dr. Chris Ballard and his wife Jerry. John and Denise Duncan. Ed and Mary Bailey. George and Shirley Tribe, and Eddie and Lila Fuchs.
Okay, who we got scheduled to bat first here, Troy?
It will be Armstrong, Goldman, and then the designated player, Hedge.
Allison Armstrong, the Mount Carmel first baseman, will lead it off for the Lady Aces. Sydney Weber, the Edwards County pitcher today. Walked 1 batter in the first inning, but no other damage. Pitch is inside for ball 1. Should have put our wind screens on these microphones, Troy. The wind's kind of whistling through my microphone here. Here's the next pitch. That's up high for a ball. I think they might be in that, I'm not sure. In one of them white boxes. I'll look here in a minute. Pitch. That's up high. 3-0 count on the leadoff hitter for Mount Carmel here in the top of the second, Allison Armstrong. Here's the pitch. It's inside. 4 straight bad ones and another walk issued by Weber. So here's Madeline Goldman, the center fielder for the Lady Aces. She looks down at the third base coach, Kyle Buss, who is the head coach for Mount Carmel. Weber into the line. The pitch is bunted foul back to the backstop. Strike 1. Buss using a little bit of a sacrifice technique here to try to get the runner down in scoring position with nobody out. Now a conference going on there between Buss and the batter. Whether she missed a sign, Troy, or...
I think he's having a little technique talk with her
Could
about how
be.
to properly square around and lay down a bunt.
Yeah, could be. Here's the pitch. And that's up high for a ball. So Weber, after throwing some strikes in the first innings, having a control problem here. That ball's hit foul back to the screen. Here's the wind to the next pitch. Foul back to the screen again. Weber into the wind, the pitch. That's up high. Already got a runner on first base with a base on balls. Nobody out so far. Here in the top of the second inning. The pitch. Hit out into right field. That's a base hit. Darcy Clodfelter, the Edwards County right fielder, sends it back into the infield. And now Mount Carmel will have runners at first and second with nobody out. And that will bring in Hallie Hedge, the designated player for the Lady Aces. Another right-hand batter here for the Lady Aces. That's Armstrong at second, Goldman at first on the base paths for Mount Carmel. There's a strike right down the middle. Weber's into the wind again. A little bit high. 1 ball, 1 strike. Here's the next delivery. Tapped, foul down the first base line. So it's 2 strikes and a ball now on the batter. Still got people driving in here, Troy. We're going to have a good crowd on hand.
Some of them getting off work.
Swing and a miss. And that's a strikeout. So 1 out. Still runners at first and second. And here's Taylor Roosevelt, the right fielder. And again, in case you just joined us, not the Taylor Roosevelt from Edwards County. This is a different Taylor Roosevelt. Wonder if they ever got mixed up mail or something, Troy. As she tries to bunt the ball and bunts it right back to the screen foul. That was more of a defensive bunt there, Troy.
Really, that's what it was.
Almost hit her.
Anything else?
Paige Hawking, the left fielder, waits on deck. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. That's 2 strikes now on the batter. Weber could use another strikeout here with 1 out. Runners at first and second. Both put there by walks. That's outside for a ball. Weber on the rubber, delivers another pitch. That is hit foul, back and out of play. And the pitch. Hit down the first baseline, foul again. All right, here's Weber's next delivery. Hit back to the backstop again, foul. Taylor Roosevelt trying to drive in a run. Swing and a miss, and that's another strikeout. So 2 successive strikeouts by Weber after issuing 2 successive walks to start the inning. 2 gone, and here's Paige Hawking, the left fielder. Paige was on the basketball team for the Lady Aces, wasn't she, Troy?
I believe you are correct, Dave. And some couple of these other girls were, too.
She might have also been on the volleyball team. There's a strike on the inside corner. I think she was on the volleyball team, too.
Could have been.
Here's Weber's next delivery. Swing and a miss. Strike 2. So Weber had a slow start to this inning, Troy, but she's coming back at it now. Here's the pitch. Strike 3, right down the middle. So after 2 walks to start the inning, Sydney Weber strikes out the next 3 to retire the side.
She sure did, Dave. There were no runs. There was 1 hit, 2 left, and no errors.
So we go to the bottom of the second, and so far, no score.
Debbie Judge, the Edwards County Sheriff's deputy, Albion Computer Guy at 275 South 4th Street in Albion. Whenever your computer needs fixing, go to Albion Computer Guy. Their hours are 8 to 5, Monday through Friday. The watering can at 107 West Main Street. Stop in and see the flowers and gift items that Nathan has available. Call 445-3924. The Beerster family, J.R., Tara, Haley, J.C., Walter, Mark, and Rachel at JTK Services. When you need tires, check with J.R. Dwayne and Leanne Lear of Lear Electric in Albion. For electrical service you can depend on, call Dwayne Lear at 446-3166. United Mutual Insurance Company at 14 North 4th Street in Albion. When you need insurance, call Rick Etheridge. Keith Taylor, and Drew Roosevelt, proud family of softball player Avery Roosevelt. And RCS Motorsports and Reese's Car and Truck Service, located at 401 West Church Street in West Salem, a locally owned automotive shop. They do service and accessories. Call 618-456-2556.
Okay, well, that noise you heard there while he was reading boosters was me putting this windscreen on this microphone. Found one. Okay, let's see. Here we go. Bottom of the second inning. And who we got leading off for the Lions?
We'll have Hout, followed by Thompson and Roosevelt.
All right, so it's 4, 5, and 6 scheduled to bat for the Lions. Maddie Hout. Pitch. Outside for ball 1. Maddie was named the Female Athlete of the Year at Edwards County High School. Well-deserved honor on the volleyball team and basketball team. Valuable players on both teams, and playing shortstop and hitting cleanup on the softball team. And she pops that one foul out of play. I think Maddie's a junior, so she'll be back next year, Troy.
That's right.
All right. Faith Fuller, the Mount Carmel pitcher, winds and fires, and that ball is hit. Foul again out of play. Look out, cars and trucks. Looking to see if I would hear one of that familiar plunk. But it hit the ground. Fuller ready to go again. Here's her pitch. Way outside. Edwards County yet to get a base runner. First 3 went down in order in the first inning for the Lions. Here's the next pitch. Shot out here to left center field. Off the fence right here in front of us. And Maddie Hout is going to have a single. Before that hit right here at the base of the fence.
It did. I thought for sure it was going to clear the fence for a minute.
And that would have hit me if it had.
Well, it's a good thing it didn't then.
Yeah. Wow. Okay, so Maddie Hout gets the first hit of the ball game. A single to left center field. It bounced off the fence here right in front of me. And here's Tara Thompson, the Edwards County center fielder. Here's Fuller's pitch, and a swing and a miss. And I wouldn't be surprised if we see Maddie Hout attempt to steal second base here in a little bit, although I was told before this game, Troy, that this Mount Carmel catcher has a good arm. So maybe we won't be doing as much stealing as you might think. All right, here's the next pitch to Thompson. She tries to bunt, misses it, and the ball gets away from the catcher, and there goes Maddie Hout to second base. Maddie's got that Ted Kluszewski look with her jersey, Troy.
A lot of girls are doing that today for the Lions.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
And a few Mount Carmel players, too.
Yeah, no sleeves.
Can't blame them.
All right, here's the next pitch. And Thompson swings and misses. The ball gets away, and Tara goes sprinting down to first base, and she'll be safe down there on the wild pitch. It is listed as a strikeout, but then the wild pitch puts the runner at first base, and Maddie Hout ends up over third base, and here's the first scoring opportunity of the day for the Lady Lions. First and third with nobody out. And here's Avery Roosevelt, the designated player for Edwards County. Avery was also on the volleyball and basketball teams this past season. She squares around to bunt. There's the throw down to second base. Oh, they're going to get... Now there goes Maddie Hout to home, and she slides in safely. So the double steal works for Edwards County. Tara Thompson took off to second base. The throw from the catcher was right there in time. They would have got her had she continued toward the base, but she stopped. And when that happened, Maddie broke for the plate, and the Mount Carmel second baseman then fired towards the plate, and Maddie slides in there safely for the first run of the ball game. So it's now Edwards County 1 and Mount Carmel nothing here in the bottom of the second inning. Tara Thompson is the runner at second base, and Avery Roosevelt is still the batter. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. There was a drop ball on that delivery, Troy, from Fuller, Mount Carmel pitcher. Fuller's now back up on the pitching rubber. And here comes the pitch. A little bit low. Roosevelt the batter with our catcher Ragan Bell waiting on deck. Lions 1, Aces nothing here in the bottom of the second. Edwards County with a runner at second base. The pitch. And was it a foul tip? Nope, it was just a plain strikeout. So
Yep,
that
is a strikeout.
One out. And here is Ragan Bell. She was on the volleyball team.
Correct.
Was she on the basketball team?
I don't think so.
I don't remember her being on the basketball team. And now, Les Franklin, the assistant coach for Edwards County, is talking to the home plate umpire, Jason Barnhart.
He might be thinking that ball was foul tipped.
Yeah.
But apparently not.
All right, Edwards County still has a runner at second base with one out, one run in already. And Bell the batter with Rotramel on deck. Here's the pitch. A little bit outside. Ragan, a right-hand batter. Here's the next pitch. Strike on the outside corner. I think Reagan's grandpa used to come to the coon hunts we had up here in Edwards County years ago, Troy.
Oh, could be.
Kenny Bell. I think that's her grandpa. Here's the pitch. Low and inside. Fuller now rocks and fires. Shot, base hit into center field. And that'll drive Thompson in from second base, and Ragan Bell has a single to center An RBI single to put Edwards County on top now, 2-0, with one out. And we're going to get a designated runner. And let's see who it's going to be. I think that's Jenna Schnepper. That's who it looks like from here.
I believe Lonnie told us that's who he uses most often as his designated runners.
I'm pretty sure that's Jenna Schnepper who's going to be the designated runner for the catcher Ragan Bell. And so here is Audrey Rotramel, who also played basketball and volleyball this past season for Edwards County. Her twin brother played first base on the baseball team.
That's right. They're both first basemen.
Andrew Rotramel, of course. Andrew and Audrey. I asked him one time who was born first, and I don't remember who they said. Pitch is outside for a ball. Hallie Murbarger waits on deck for Edwards County. Lions up 2-0 here in the bottom of the second. Next pitch, swing and a miss. Audrey, a product of the West Salem Grade School athletic program. I think that's right. Here's the next pitch. She squares around and bunts it right. Foul on the first base line. Beautiful day here in Albion for softball action at Wayne Pollard Memorial Field. Fuller, the Mount Carmel pitcher, rocks and fires, low and inside for a ball. Jenna Schnepper, the pinch runner for the Lions at first base. Here comes the next delivery on the way. Low and inside. Good stop by the Mount Carmel catcher, Addie Drone. Audrey trying to get a hold of one and drive in another run for the Lions. Strike on the inside corner, and that's strike 3. So here's Hallie Murbarger, Edwards County left fielder. Hallie was on the basketball and volleyball teams. Hallie, a left-hand batter. She squares around and pulls the bat back to possibly hit, but the pitch is way outside for a ball. Here's the line. Again, Hallie. And the ball goes to the backstop, and there goes Schnepper to second base on the wild pitch. So it's Schnepper at second base now. What do we got, 2 outs, Troy?
We have 2 outs, sir.
Lions have already plated 2 runs. This is a non-conference game, by the way. There's a strike on the outside corner. If I remember right, Troy, Hallie's pretty adept at doing these drag bunts. Batting from the left side of the batter's box. And she again shows bunt, pulls it back and takes it low in the dirt for a ball. Top of the batting order, waiting next, Caelyn Nelson. If Hallie can keep it going. Faith Fuller, the Mount Carmel pitcher, goes way outside. That's ball 4. So it's first and second now for Edwards County, and here's Caelyn Nelson, Edwards County second baseman. Caelyn gets into the box. What'd she do the first time, Troy?
She grounded a short first time up.
Well, at least she got the bat on the ball, Troy.
She did.
Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike one. Might have been a change up there because you could tell by the swing Caelyn was off stride on the swing. Here's the next delivery. And a shot out here into the outfield. That is going to drop and go to the fence on right center. One run is in. There goes another runner in, and Caelyn slides into second base with a 2 RBI double. Good shot by Caelyn Nelson. Lions are up now 4-0, Troy, here in the bottom of the second. And here comes Darcy Clodfelter, the Edwards County right fielder. Pitch by Fuller. Shot foul down the first base side. A lot of people enjoying softball action here today at Wayne Pollard Memorial Field. A lot of people sitting in the aluminum bleachers behind home plate. A lot of others sitting in lawn chairs they brought from home. Some just leaning on the fence. Here's the next delivery. Strike on the corner, outside corner, and at the letters. Darcy's back in. And the delivery. Swing and a miss. Ball pops loose. And there goes Nelson down to third base, but the throw to first base is in time for the putout on the strikeout to retire the side. But it was a very fruitful inning for the Edwards County Lady Lions.
It was, Dave. It was 4 runs on 3 hits. There was an error, and there was 1 runner left.
So we've played 2 innings here at Wayne Pollard Memorial Field in Albion, and the score as we go to the top of the third. Edwards County 4, Mount Carmel nothing.
Eddie and Joyce Miller, Kent and Lori Reed, attorney Brian Schenkel and his wife Sonia, Jim and Jody Peach, the parents of baseball and basketball player Tyler Peach, Larry Schmittler Service, Oilfield Engine Repairing in Grayville, Larry and Linda Schmittler, the grandparents of basketball and volleyball player Malia Schmittler, football, basketball, and baseball player Martin Schmittler, and basketball player Ty Schmittler. And good luck to the Lions from Tanea St. Ledger, physical therapist at the Rehabilitation and Performance Institute in Albion, and Eric St. Ledger, your Edwards County State's attorney.
And I might add, for those of you who are webcast boosters, as soon as the baseball and softball seasons are officially over, we'll be sending out statements to those of you who are webcast boosters to indicate how much money you owe us. And let's see who's going to lead it off here for Mount Carmel, Troy.
It's the top of the order, Fuller, Drone, and Banks.
I see somebody's over there keeping track of the strikeouts for Sydney Weber. They got the red K's over there. Let's see if I'll swing it around there. You can see it there on the fence. I don't know who's keeping that. But first pitch is a call strike 1 to Faith Fuller. So if they're accurate over there, they've got 5 strikeouts. Is that right, Troy?
That's what I've got.
Okay. One was a called strike, and the other were swinging strikeouts. Pitch is up high for a ball. Sydney Weber, where's number 19? Here's the pitch. A little bit inside. Edwards County defense, we got Audrey Rotramel at first. Caelyn Nelson at second. Maddie Hout at short. And at third base, we got Allison Wolfe. Pitch. A little bit high for a ball. Hallie Murbarger's in left. Tara Thompson in center. Darcy Clodfelter's in right. Ragan Bell's catching. And Sydney Weber pitching. And the delivery popped up on the infield and caught by Allison Wolfe for the putout. So, one up, one down, and here's the catcher for the Aces, Addie Drone. What did Drone do the first time, Troy?
She struck out.
Pitch. She tried a nice bunt right out in front of the plate. Throw to first base is in time for the putout.
Wow.
Good play by Caelyn Nelson, covering the bag at first base to dig that throw out of the dirt for the putout. So 2 up, 2 down. And here's Ella Banks, the Mount Carmel shortstop, left-hand batter. Pitches outside for ball 1. We're in the top of the third. Edwards County 4, Mount Carmel nothing. Weber's next delivery, a little bit high, ball 2. Two balls, no strikes. The 2-0 pitch. That's way up high, ball 3. I think Weber's walked at least 3 batters so far.
Yeah, 2 walks.
2, okay. Next delivery. There's a strike on the outside corner. So she's had 2 walks and 5 strikeouts. The pitch. Strike on the outside corner again. I tell you what, Troy, I've got a great sense of appreciation. There's a high fly ball to center field. Thompson goes back, and it's over the fence for a home run. Wow.
Yep, somebody's going to go retrieve it. That's good.
Edwards County center fielder Tara Thompson went back to the fence, but it was over her reach and over the center field fence for a home run. And so Mount Carmel's on the scoreboard now. I'm glad that was a little bit more towards the left.
Yes.
So it didn't bounce off of our tent here. Gust of wind that caught her tent. Thank goodness it's anchored down pretty good.
Yeah, thankfully.
All right, still 2 outs. Now this is Lexi Simmons. After Banks hits the home run, nobody on base at the time, swing and a miss. And the way the wind's blowing, Troy, you get the ball up in the air and it could blow it out of here.
Very true, Dave.
That wind seems to be coming directly from home plate towards center field. Wind's picking up now. Swing and a miss. Hope we get this game over before any rain moves in here. Here's the next pitch. And it's up high. Gary Moore, that's the name of the guy.
There you go.
Gary Moore, he's the first base umpire. I knew I'd think of
Hey,
him
the minute
eventually.
you said it, it triggered it in my head, too.
Yeah, Gary Moore, that's the base umpire. That pitch is up high for a ball. Just ought to move the camera so you can see the batter and the pitcher. You get kind of sidetracked here now and then and forget the camera. Pitch. Ooh, that almost hit the batter. I took one quick look at him and I thought, oh, that's Gary Moore. Now I remember. Here's the next delivery. That's up high for ball 4. Well, with 2 outs, 1 run in on the home run by Banks, Simmons gets a base on balls, and here's Allison Armstrong. She's the Mount Carmel first baseman. And this gal looks like, Troy, she could hit a ball a long way.
Could be.
Weber's pitch. There's a strike at the letters. We're in the top of the third. It's now 4-1 Edwards County as Aces get their first run on the home run. next delivery. And a shot foul down the third base line. Caught on the fly by the Mount Carmel head coach Kyle Buss. The wind's really picked up since we got started, Troy. Next pitch. Ground ball. Into center field. That's a base hit. Runner on the way to third base. The throw and the slide is out. Nice throw from Tara Thompson into Allison Wolfe to put the tag on the runner to put her out. And that shut that down.
It sure did, Dave.
Mount Carmel on the base hit to center field had a good chance to keep things going, but the runner coming from first base is thrown out at third to retire the side.
Dave, in that inning, Mount Carmel put a run on the board on 2 hits. There were no errors, and 1 runner left.
So we go to the bottom of the third. It's now Edwards County 4, Mount Carmel 1.
And we have, as soon as my papers quit flying all over the place, Debbie Judge, Edwards County Sheriff's Deputy, Albin Computer Guy at 275 South 4th Street in Albin. Whenever your computer needs fixing, go to Albin Computer Guy. Their hours are 8 to 5, Monday through Friday. The watering can at 107 West Main Street. Stop in and see the flowers and gift items Nathan has available. Call 445-3924. The Beerster family, JR, Tara, Haley, JC, Walter, Mark, and Rachel at JTK Services. When you need tires, check with JR. Dwayne and Leanne Lear of Lear Electric in Albin for electrical service that you can depend on. Call Dwayne Lear at 446-3166, and these girls are ready to go.
So who we got leading off here, Troy, for the bottom of the third?
It'll be Wolfe, Hout, and Thompson this inning.
Allison Wolfe, Edwards County third baseman, who put the tag on the Mount Carmel runner to end the top of the third. She'll lead off here in the bottom of the third. Pitch is outside for ball 1. Allison, the daughter of Rick and Kelly Wolfe. Fuller, the pitcher for the Aces, delivers low and outside for ball 2. Two-0 count. Fuller now strolls around in the pitching circle and gets up on the rubber. And here's the 2-0 pitch. Ball tapped right back to the pitcher. Fuller to first base in time for the putout. So 1 up, 1 down. And here's Maddie Hout, the Edwards County shortstop. I believe she got a base hit first time out, didn't she?
She did. She got a hit and scored.
Maddie digs in. Fuller walks and fires. Low and inside, ball 1. Maddie resting that bat on her shoulders, now cocks it up high. And here's the pitch. Shot to right field, that's a base hit. And she's going to go for 2. And now she's going to go for 3. And now she's going to go to the plate, and she's going to score an inside the park home run. Mount Carmel outfielders hesitated, Troy, and Maddie just kept going.
I don't know what happened with the right fielder there, Dave, but she made a bad throw that didn't even make it to the infield, and that allowed Maddie to take the extra base and go home.
Well, you knew she was going to get 2 at least.
Right.
And then she saw that the play was not being made well by the Mount Carmel outfielders, and she then was going to third. She rounded third base and looked, and then decided she could easily beat the throw to the plate, and she did. 5-1 now, Edwards County. Well, here's Tara Thompson. Inside the park home run for Maddie Hout. Here's the delivery. low in the dirt. Fuller pitches foul back to the screen. Here comes the next pitch. High fly ball out of play down the first base line. I don't know what that Mount Carmel head coach is doing. He gives out 3 numbers. That pitch is behind Tara.
Well, Dave, some people give out signs. That's his way of telling the catcher what pitch he wants thrown.
I guess it must be. He'll give out 3 numbers. Now he says 3-1-2. So I don't know. We'll find out.
He calls that one a lot.
If you could figure out what the code is there, you'd know what pitch was coming.
Well, you would think so.
Pitch. And that's fouled off for a strike. Tara Thompson, the batter. 5-1 now, Edwards County here in the bottom of the third. 7-inning ball game. Now it's 4-3-1, Troy.
Here we go.
And the pitch. That's a strike or a strikeout. That was a changeup. Remember that. 4-3-1 means a changeup.
Of course, there's always the possibility, too, that in between innings he changes things up, too.
Yes, could be. Could be. All right, here is Avery Roosevelt, our designated player. 1 run in, 1 out here in the bottom of the third. Low and inside for a ball. Now it's 3-4-5.
And it's 3-4-5 on this pitch.
See what happens here. Outside for a ball. That looked like a fastball. Something 1-2. I didn't hear the first number.
I don't think he's got a whole lot. It sounded like 3-1-2 again.
Swing and a miss.
That's a fastball.
That looked like a changeup.
Oh, was it? Okay.
Avery Roosevelt batting. 1 out in the bottom of the third. 5-1 Edwards County. And that's in the dirt. Ragan Bell waits on deck for Edwards County. Here's the pitch by Fuller. Inside for ball 4. So Roosevelt draws a walk, and here's Ragan Bell, the catcher. Is that right? 2 outs?
There are 2 outs, Dave.
Okay. Runner at first with 2 outs, and Bell the batter. I think you're right, Troy. I think that's telling the pitcher what pitch to throw. Fastball low in the dirt. I'm sure there's a difference as to which one of those numbers really indicates what the pitch is to be.
Could be.
Wouldn't necessarily be the last one. And that's tapped right down the third base line. The throw across the diamond is in time for the putout to retire the side, but the Lions picked up another run, Troy.
Yes, Dave, after the Banks solo home run in the top half of the inning, the Lions get that run back on a inside the park homer by Maddie Hout. We had a run, a hit, no errors, and 1 person left.
So we go to the top of the 4th inning, It's Edwards County 5 and Mount Carmel 1.
And our webcast boosters include United Mutual Insurance Company at 14 North 4th Street in Albion. When you need insurance, call Rick Etheridge, Keith, Kayla, Taylor, and Drew Roosevelt, proud family of softball player Avery Roosevelt. RCS Motorsports and Reese's Car and Truck Service, located at 401 West Church Street in West Salem. A locally owned automotive shop. They do service and accessories. Call 618-456-2556. Eddie and Joyce Miller, Kent and Lori Reed, attorney Brian Schenkel and his wife Sonia, Jim and Jody Peach, the parents of baseball and basketball player Tyler Peach, Larry Schmittler Service, Oilfield Engine Repair in Grayville. Larry and Linda Schmittler are the grandparents of basketball and volleyball player Malia Schmittler, football, basketball, and baseball player Martin Schmittler, and basketball player Ty Schmittler.
Okay, let me move the camera here just a little bit. You can see the Edwards County infielders all around the pitching circle there with the Edwards County pitcher, Sidney Weber. And who's going to lead it off for Mount Carmel, Troy?
It'll be Madeline Goldman, followed by Hedge, and their Taylor Roosevelt.
All right, Madeline Goldman, the Mount Carmel center fielder. Pitched by Weber. There's a strike right down the middle. I started to say I've got a lot of respect for these people who can throw that softball that fast. I could pitch baseball, but I never could master how to throw a softball fast. 2 strikes on the batter. And that ball's hit foul down the first base side. Audrey Rotramel, the Edwards County first baseman, retrieves the ball, sends it back to the pitching circle. Can't use the term mound here in girls softball. That pitch is hit foul again down the first base side. No mound in softball. It's just a flat surface, just like the rest of the infield, with a white circle around the pitch where a mound would be. Here's the delivery. Low and inside for a ball. Well, you couldn't ask for much better weather than this, Troy. Here's the next pitch. Hit down to the second base. And it's an easy play for Caelyn Nelson. Over to Audrey Rotramel for the putout. 1 out. And here is Allie Hedge, the designated player for Mount Carmel, which means she's not on defense. Swing and a miss for a strike. Be the same thing as a designated hitter in baseball.
Correct.
But they call it designated player in softball. Pitch, a little bit high. There's a strike right down the middle. Sidney Weber, Edwards County pitcher today. I think we saw her pitch a little bit last year, didn't we, Troy?
Yeah, perhaps.
There's a shot. Oh, look at that! A defensive catch. A snow cone catch by Sidney Weber. Shot right back at her. And she caught it in self-defense. And she is wearing a mask, Troy, to protect her face on cases just like that. But she caught it. 2 down. And here's Taylor Roosevelt, the Mount Carmel right fielder. Pitch up high for a ball. We're in the top of the 4th inning. Edwards County 5, Mount Carmel 1. Girls softball action from Wayne Pollard Memorial Field in Albion on a beautiful day. A lot of people have come out to watch the game in person. There's a strike at the letters. The only bad part is, Troy, there's no concession stand close to the softball field. Pitch. There's a shot up the middle, but Caelyn's got it over to first. Oh, Audrey dropped the ball and everybody's saved. Caelyn Nelson fielded the ball cleanly, and the throw to Audrey Rotramel, the first baseman, and she had it in her glove, Troy, but then she just dropped it, and Gary Moore calls the runner safe. So that'll be an error on the first baseman.
Yeah, I'm afraid so.
And let's see, here's Paige Hawking, the left fielder. She squares around the bunt and fouls it back and out of play. Catcher Ragan Bell gave chase trying to get to it, but it dropped out of her reach. Gets her sign from Ragan Bell, the catcher. And here's the delivery. Another bunt attempt is bunted. Foul in front of the, well, actually off into the batter's box. So the runner has to go back to first base. 2 strikes on the batter with 2 outs here in the top of the 4th. And the pitch. Bunt. Down the third base line. The throw to first base. Gets past the first baseman. And the runners are going to end up at second and third. Good play by Darcy Clodfelter, Troy. She was backing up that throw to first base.
Yes.
That Audrey Rotramel could not come up with. And Darcy kept that runner from second base from scoring. Or actually from first base from scoring.
Right.
So now it's second and third with 2 outs. Mount Carmel's best opportunity to score some runs here this afternoon. And this is Faith Fuller, the pitcher. And it's a called strike on the inside corner. Oh, 1 pitch. Inside, ball 1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Two outs here in the top of the 4th. 5-1 Edwards County, but Mount Carmel runners at second and third. Pitch. Inside, ball 2. Sydney Weber with a 2-1 count. Rocks and pitches. Inside, ball 3. In danger of loading the bases here. Here's the next pitch. Shot to short. Maddie's got it. Over to first. In time to retire the side and get out of the danger there, Troy.
Well, Dave, in that inning, we had no runs. We had no hits. We had 2 errors and 2 runners left.
So we go to the bottom of the 4th. Score remains Edwards County 5, Mount Carmel 1.
And your webcast boosters include good luck to the Lions from Tanea St. Ledger, physical therapist at the Rehabilitation and Performance Institute in Albion. And Eric St. Ledger, he is your Edwards County State's Attorney. Citizens National Bank in Albion. Nails Funeral Homes in Albion and Fairfield. Gospel Chapel in Bone Gap. Services are every Sunday at 10. Brian Mavis, your Edward Jones investment agent in Albion. Edwards County Superintendent of Schools, David Cowger, and his family, David, Tiffany, Dallin, Camden, and Addison. Rick, Kelly, Allison, and Drew Wolfe. Doug Raber, your State Farm insurance agent in Albion. The Murbarger family, Lonnie, Valerie, Sadie, and Hallie. Kevin, Heidi, and TJ Smurden. Head baseball coach Chris Duncan and his family, Miranda Jackson Jeter, Dr. Chris Ballard and his wife Jerry, John and Denise Duncan, Ed and Mary Bailey, George and Shirley Tribe, Eddie and Lila Fuchs, and Debbie Judge, the Edwards County Sheriff's Deputy.
Okay, we go to the bottom of the 4th. Who we got scheduled to bat for Edwards County, Troy?
We will have Rotramel, Murbarger, and then back to the top with Nelson.
All right. Mount Carmel girls around the pitching circle there. Now they'll fan out to their positions, and I'll get back up behind the camera here. doing double duty here today, running the camera and calling play-by-play. All right, Audrey Rotramel, Edwards County first baseman, steps in. What's Audrey done on the day, Troy?
Audrey struck out in the second inning.
So her second time at bat. And the pitch by Fuller is a strike on the outside corner. 5-1, Edwards County here at the bottom of the fourth. Lions going for their 15th win on the season. Swing and a miss on a change of pace from Fuller. 0-2 count on Rotramel. Here comes the pitch. And a shot to right center. And it is over the fence for a home run. Audrey Rotramel sends that ball over the center field fence for a home run. And now the Edwards County dugout empties out to welcome Audrey at home plate. And it's now 6-1 Edwards County. Wasn't much doubt about that one, Troy.
Nope.
Mount Carmel center fielder Madeline Goldman went back to the fence but had no chance to catch that one. So that'll bring up Hallie Murbarger now, the Edwards County left fielder. The Lions enjoying a 6-1 lead now. Hallie shows bunt, takes it back, takes outside, ball one. That's the first home run for Edwards County that was actually over the fence, wasn't it?
Yes.
Maddie Hout got an inside the park home run earlier in the game. Here's the pitch, way outside for ball. As you can tell probably from the sound on the microphone, wind is blowing. Not real strong, but enough that if you get that ball up in the air, it'll carry out of here today. Kind of like Wrigley Field some days. Pitch, strike over the inside corner, and Hallie took it. Hallie Murbarger. Her dad is the head coach, Lonnie Murbarger. Pitch, way outside. And I'm sure if you ask Hallie, she would say he plays no favoritism with me whatsoever.
Of course.
And she'd be right. Here comes the next delivery from Fuller. Taking it outside for ball four. And Hallie, who can run well, could be off and running here. As we go to the top of the batting order, and here's Caelyn Nelson, the Edwards County second baseman. What's Caelyn done for the day?
She grounded out in the first and had the 2-run double in the second.
So she's had a good afternoon, 1 for 2. She squares around the bunt, takes it back, and there goes Hallie to second. She slides in there, and she's safe. Kind of a dusty commotion there at the second base bag over the slide. In fact, they tore the base loose. Yeah. Runner at second base. And a 1-strike count on Caelyn Nelson. This is 4-3-1, Troy, on the call from the dugout.
There we go.
Pitch in the dirt for a ball. Hallie thought about going as the ball got away from the catcher, but a good recovery there for Mount Carmel by Addie Drone. Their catcher kept Murbarger at second base. Caelyn Nelson, the batter. Next pitch inside, and Hallie's going to go to third on the wild pitch. So it's a runner at third now. This is 1-5-2, Troy.
There we go.
Are you writing this down so you can try to figure it out later on? Pitch. Swing and a miss. 2-2 count on Nelson.
Well, there we go with that one again.
This is 3-2-1.
Uh-huh.
If I remember right, that was a changeup. Let's see. That's what it is, and a swing and a miss.
Yeah, he's keeping it simple.
That's a strikeout. And that'll bring up Darcy Clodfelter. What do we got, 2 outs or 1 out?
We have 1 out.
1 out. Runner at third. What's Darcy done on the day?
She is 0 for 2 in this contest.
Pitch to her. She squares her. Oh, good bunt down the third base line. Murbarger's going to score, and an RBI bunt single by Darcy Clodfelter. Now it's 7-1 Edwards County.
But I'll tell you what helped on that play, Dave. The third baseman looked up to see what Hallie was doing, took her mind off the ball, and that was plenty of time for somebody with Darcy speed to leg it out.
Yep. Plus the speed of Hallie coming down the line from third base to score easily on the bunt.
Exactly.
I guess you could call that a...
Oh, she was bunting for a hit.
Yeah, I was just trying to think whether that was a safety squeeze or a suicide squeeze. There's another bunt, but that's foul. Either way, it worked.
Yep, it worked. Results.
So it's now what, 7-1?
Correct, sir.
Now this is 1-5-2, Troy. I think it probably means a fastball. Let's see if I'm right. Or what's 1-5-3? He changed it. I still think it's going to be a fastball. Here's the pitch. It's outside. But it's called a strike over the outside corner.
The skies just turned very blue off to the right there.
Uh-huh.
Skies off to the right.
Some dark clouds, but hopefully they won't turn loose any rain on us here until we get done and all tore down and home.
Yes, let's hope so.
Here's the pitch. And that's hit foul down the third base line, out of play. 7-1 Edwards County. Here in the bottom of the fourth. Now it's 4-3-1. Here's the delivery. And that ball is shot into left field. It drops in there for a hit. And that's a base hit. So now we got Darcy at second base. And that was Allison Wolfe, by the way. I think I forgot to mention that was who was batting. She gets a base hit out into left field. Sorry about that, Allison. Didn't mean to slight you. And here's Maddie Hout now with runners at first and second. And 2 outs? 1 out.
1 out.
1 out. Okay.
1 out first.
Like I said, I can't see the scoreboard here from our location. Pitch. And a shot to the right field is foul down the right field line. Maddie got an inside the park home run last time up. Well, you're right, Troy. That does look like kind of rain off there to the west.
Sure does.
I hope it goes north and west of us. Three, 2-1 this time. All right, Fuller into the line. Here's her pitch. That's low in the dirt. And a good recovery by the Mount Carmel catcher Drone to keep Edwards County's runners at first and second. Mount Carmel with 7 wins against 14 losses. Edwards County 14-4. Pitch. And a changeup is just a little bit high. Maddie's back in. She's the cleanup hitter for Edwards County. The pitch. She fouls that one back to the screen. Jason Barnhart is the home plate umpire. He's from Fairfield. Gary Moore, also from Fairfield, is the base umpire. Faith Fuller, the Mount Carmel pitcher, delivers. Strike call. That's a strikeout. 2 outs now. And here comes Tara Thompson, the Edwards County center fielder. What's Tara done on the day?
Tara on the day has... she reached on an error, and she scored and struck out.
So she's 0 for 2. She swings and misses on a changeup for strike 1. Glad to have you logged in watching Edwards County Lady Lions softball action here today on my15news.com. We might even have some Mount Carmel viewers, Troy. And there's a shot up the middle. That's going to be a base hit. And a run's going to come home to score. That's Clodfelter scoring from second base. Is that thunder out here?
That was thunder, sir.
It sounds like it's north of us, though. Although, we get lightning, they might stop the game. Let's hope they don't do that. All right, that makes it, what now, 8-1?
It does.
Yeah, maybe we get the 10-run rule lead in here.
Sure.
Here's the pitch, and a ball hit to short. Shortstop's got it over to first base in time for the putout. And that will retire the side, but the Lions picked up more runs, Troy.
Busy inning for the Lions, Dave. They had 3 more runs, and those came on 5 hits, and we had 2 runners left.
Okay, so we go to the top of the 5th inning. Edwards County's on top now, 8-1.
And our webcast boosters, as we go to the top of the 5th here, include... all I got to do is find my lead left off spot. Here we go. Citizens National Bank in Albin. Nails Funeral Homes in Albin and Fairfield. Gospel Chapel in Bone Gap. Services are every Sunday at 10. Brian Mavis is your Edward Jones investment agent in Albin. Edwards County Superintendent of Schools, David Cowger and his family. David, Tiffany, Dallin, Camden, and Addison. Rick, Kelly, Allison, and Drew Wolfe. Doug Raber, your State Farm Insurance agent in Albin. The Murbarger family, Lonnie, Valerie, Sadie, and Hallie. Kevin, Heidi, and TJ Smurden. Head baseball coach Chris Duncan and his family. Miranda Jackson Jeter. Dr. Chris Ballard and his wife Jerry. John and Denise Duncan. Ed and Mary Bailey. George and Shirley Tribe. Eddie and Lila Fuchs. And Debbie Judge, Edwards County Sheriff's Deputy.
Okay, who we got scheduled to lead off for Mount Carmel, Troy?
Coming up this inning, Dave, will be Addie Drone, followed by Ella Banks, and then Lexi Simmons.
All right, top of the 5th inning. Edwards County leading 8-1. Addie Drone, the Mount Carmel catcher. Pitch. She bunts the ball right back to the pitching circle, but Caelyn Nelson dropped it. She was covering the bag, and the throw from Weber, the pitcher, bounced off of Caelyn's glove, and that'll be an error. Putting a runner at first base with nobody out. And here's Ella Banks, the shortstop. She's the gal that hit the home run, wasn't she?
Hit the solo homer in the 3rd inning, Dave.
Left-hand batter. Pitch. Strike at the letters. Yeah, the clouds coming in from the west kind of covered up the sun here, Troy. Here's the next pitch by Weber, and that's popped up, but it's going to get out of play over the backstop. Wind blowing in from home plate towards center field, actually towards left center. So if any of these girls get the ball up in the air, it has a good chance of sailing out of here. There's a shot. That's going to be a base hit. Tara Thompson, the Edwards County center fielder, fields it and sends it into the infield. So now runners at first and second. Nobody out. And let's see, this will be Lexi Simmons, the Mount Carmel third baseman. Pitch by Weber on a hitter. Hit by a pitch, and the bases are going to be loaded, Troy. But still, nobody out, right?
Correct.
So we've had an error and a base hit, and now a hit batsman. And Ragan Bell is out talking to her pitcher now. This would be Allison Armstrong batting. And Bell goes back to the home plate. Weber into the wind and pitch. Strike at the letters. Bases loaded for the Lady Aces, with nobody out here in the top of the fifth. Edwards County 8, Mount Carmel 1. And the next pitch. A little bit inside for a ball. Armstrong, the Mount Carmel first baseman, takes a couple of limber up swings before getting back in. Weber's next pitch to her is outside for a ball. No place to put her. Got to throw strikes or we walk a run home. Here's the windup of the next pitch. Shot. Hout's got it. Throw to the plate is in time for the force out. Maddie Hout fielded the ball and fired it to the catcher Ragan Bell to tag home plate for the force out. And so that's one out.
And
uh-oh.
Either Gary Moore saw lightning or something. He saw something off there in that direction,
that's probably
Dave.
what's happened here, Troy. I was afraid this was going to happen. The IHSA rules state that if lightning is observed, the game is to be immediately stopped and the players are to get into the dugout, and action cannot resume for 30 minutes. And if they see another strike, then the 30-minute strike or clock starts all over again. We had this happen here, I guess 2 or 3 years ago, in a football game here at Albion, and this went on for better than an hour and a half before they finally decided to call the game. The problem of it is, Troy, for us, we've got a half hour here to kill, and unfortunately, unlike the Cardinal baseball, where they can run Cardinal Insider and all kinds of interviews that they've got recorded up.
Yep.
I don't know that I want to hang around here for a half an hour waiting to see what's going to happen here. I know I can't fill a half hour without singing songs, and I don't think anybody wants that.
Nobody wants to hear you and me sing.
I don't think anybody wants that. And I didn't bring any sermons that I could preach here for half an hour. I don't think anybody'd really be interested in staying on tap for that either. I'll tell you what I'm tempted to do, Troy, is just stop the webcast and consider it done. What do you think?
Well, I'll tell you what, Dave, it was, it's almost like it was our one softball game, depending on whether or not we do the Galatia thing next week. It was our one softball game of the year, Dave, but like you said, for us in our situation, we just don't have anything in front of us to make a half hour go by.
And it could even go beyond that. I mean,
well, yeah, they could have another lightning strike, and then
another
kaboom.
lightning strike, and the 30-minute clock starts all over again.
Right.
And that's, this can go on
and
on.
And as far as that goes, Dave, if it's going to rain, I mean, if you and I want to unpack before we could potentially get soaked, then we should probably start as soon as possible.
We got to take down this canopy tent here and get it all packed away and in the car and everything. So I think, Troy, that's what we're going to do. We're just going to end the webcast, and if they do resume play, well, then you can get the final score tomorrow. Mount Carmel is threatening. Let's give them that. They've still got the bases loaded with what?
One out.
One out. In the top of the 5th inning, Edwards County leading 8-1. Well, folks, I hate to do this, but we just don't have enough material here to shoot the breeze, so to speak, for a half an hour or even longer if we see another thunderstrike, which we could see with some of them clouds moving in from the west. I think the best thing for us to do, Troy, is just to end this webcast and hope the people will understand.
Yeah.
So we hope you have enjoyed our webcast here so far today. Edwards County on top, 8-1 in the top of the 5th inning with one out, and Mount Carmel has the bases loaded. So until our next webcast, this is Dave Riggs saying so long for just a little while.